we are just over 2 months away from the ride, and I get a lot of questions. And a lot of people, they see my fundraising, they see what I'm trying to do, which is ride from Toronto to Vegas. And the first thing is they say is, oh my God, I can never do it. Or, oh my God, that's way beyond my capability. Before you jump to that conclusion, I kind of want to give you guys an idea of how the ride works. Because it's a unique way on how it functions and is not as hardcore as it sounds. The ride consists of 5 teams. Each team has about anywhere from 4 to 6 people. It really depends on registration. And that's your team for the entire week. In our case, it's 8 days. So, what are we responsible for? In this case, we're doing approximately 140 to 150K a day. If I had to give an example of what a full day looks like in doing this event, so say I'm team 1. My shift begins at, let's say, 12 p.m. Each shift is 6 hours long. So I'm riding from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. In that time frame, we have 6 hours to finish the 150K of riding, with including any breaks, any type of malfunctions that may happen in between, like flat tires, and that stuff. Get it all in within that 6 hour time frame. That averages out to about 27, ish kilometers an hour, which if you do start to ride, you understand that it's actually not that crazy to do. As long as you train for it, it's not that bad. Do a shift from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. What happens next? The team, say team 2, is the team after us, is coming to swap places with us. They'll come with their van. Their van contains all the riders as well as all the bikes on top. They take their bikes down, they start to ride off, we take their van, and then we have the next 24 hours to do whatever we want to do. So from 6 p.m. when we finish, all the way to 6 p.m. the next day, we have that much time to find a hotel to sleep, eat, and also drive to the next spot. So you gotta think about it. You have 24 hours to drive. While you're technically off, you have 4 other teams doing about 150 kilometers in their shift. That is 600 kilometers of driving you need to make up in that 24 hours to get to the next starting point of your next ride at 6 p.m. So then we're driving, we eat, take a nap, find food, do whatever we can to get all our snacks ready, water ready, everything ready for the next shift. The next day, we meet our team, which if we're team 1, it's really team 5 that is going to transition to us, hand them the keys, take our bikes off the top, and then we go. So you got to think about it. Over 8 days, we do this ride from Toronto to Vegas. It's 24 hours a day. There's always wheels on the road. You're only responsible for doing as a team about 140, 150 a day. It's actually not that crazy, and I think anybody can really do this. I was not a rider. I've never ridden a road bike up until that point. I literally signed up for the event, bought the bike, and within 3-4 months, I was pretty comfortable in being able to say I could pull it off. Of course, no one's the same, so it may take a bit more work for some people than others, but it's totally doable. Another question I get is safety and transportation. How does it work during the ride? The 2 main things we have during the ride that's on the road 24 hours a day is a support team with a motorhome and another support team that rides a car behind us to signal cars behind them that there's slow moving cyclists ahead. 2 big, very important pieces, because the motorhome has all our food, baggage, anything that we need from a clothing perspective or mechanical perspective is all in there. Just so if we need to take a rest stop, we can quickly grab stuff out of the motorhome and go. We agree on a distance of, say, 50K down the road where we want to take our next break. They go ahead of us, plant themselves down, and when we arrive, we can jump in, do our break, and head off again. Behind us at all times is our follow car, and that's usually a van, and they're literally just following behind us maybe 40, 50 feet back, and they just hover us, and they do 2 things to make sure we don't get hit, and number 2 is to make sure we stay on course. It's very easy actually to get lost and turn around in these places, because sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere on a street you're unfamiliar with and you have no idea where you're going. And your GPSs can be wonky, so that's kind of what they're there for, to help us with. And I'll tell you, driving that car and driving the motorhome is much harder than actually riding the bike. Because when you're riding the bike, all you need to worry about is making sure you continue going. These guys have communications from other teams coming in. They gotta be constantly looking behind them to see what cars are coming behind us. All sorts of stuff. The volunteer position is very key, very important, and really vital to the safety of the entire event. But again, I wanted to kind of clarify, because I'm sure a lot of other previous riders and current riders get that question as well. Whoa, you're going to Vegas? How long is it gonna take? How does it only take 8 days? Well, that's why, because it's a 24-hour ride, Again, not race, it's a ride. I just wanted to give this overview because it is hard. A lot of people just don't understand the event until they're there. And there are so many moving parts that even when you think you know what's going on, it's not until you go through the process once or twice that you go, holy, like that's a lot of moving parts. So yeah, so I'll give that update. Today, we are at, I think, $5,100 for my personal goal of the 10,000. So feel free to go ahead and hit up the link to donate if you can. All donations over $20 come with a tax receipt, so it's great for tax time. And if you want to learn more, go to wellspring.ca to learn more about the organization itself and what that money is being put towards. And of course, lastly, you can visit this page to learn more about the ride. Those of you who are thinking about riding or think you want to ride for this year or next year, you're more than welcome to reach out to me by social media or by email. And most of the people who are watching this know me already. If you don't, contact the person you see linking you to this, and I'm more than happy to help you guys out. All right, so we'll talk soon. Tomorrow morning, me and Billy have a 5:45 a.m. ride. In the mornings, we try and do a couple of rides a week. So we're doing our solid 1 hour on the bike tomorrow, and we have a 110K ride coming up on Sunday with the full team. So likely I'll get a video out for that one to kind of show you how the team works together. So we'll see you soon. Thanks.